Hello grade 4, welcome again with you Mrs. Minna Raouf, your science teacher. I hope you are all fine and everything is okay with you. Today we will start Unit 5 Lesson 3, How is Weather Predicted? First, why is it important to watch the weather forecast before traveling to another country? Yeah, we need to know the weather before traveling to another country to know if the weather is suitable for traveling or not. A meteorologist is a scientist who studies weather. They collect data from all over the world using automated systems at sea, on land, in the air, and in space. So, meteorologist is a scientist who studies weather, and they collect data from all over the world using systems at sea, on land, in the air, and in space. What this automated system include? These automated systems include weather buoys, weather monitoring stations, weather balloons, weather satellites. Let's talk about each system. First, weather buoys. Weather buoys collect data about air temperature, air pressure, wind, and waves at sea. So, weather buoys collect the data at sea. They collect this data about the air temperature, air pressure, wind, and waves. Weather monitoring stations collect data on air temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity, and precipitation. And some use radar to track severe storms. So, the weather monitoring stations collect the data on land. The weather balloons. The weather balloons carry tools called radio sondes. And this tool measures air temperature, air pressure, and humidity in air. So, the weather balloons carry tools called radio sondes. And this tool measure the air temperature, air pressure, and humidity in the air. Weather satellites. And the weather satellites orbit Earth and can track the weather over very large areas. They collect weather data such as cloud cover and track storms such as hurricanes. So, the weather satellites used to detect the weather in space. Let's talk about something else. Air masses and fronts. What mean by air masses and fronts? Before we talk about the air masses and fronts, let me ask you something. Describe what you feel when you open freezer and stand in front of it for few seconds. The air that comes from the freezer is a dry freezer air, and it meets the warm air in the moist room. So, a mini front is formed. So, what mean by air masses and front? Air masses is a large body of air with the same temperature and humidity throughout. What this mean? This means that it reflects the condition of the place where it forms. The air masses that form over land are dry, and air masses that form over water are moist. So, the air mass is a body of air, has same temperature and humidity of the place that where it forms. Air masses moves across an area, they can collide. So, when air masses moves across an area, they can collide and form something called front. What mean by front? Front is the boundary between two air masses and the weather it change at fronts. And also at a front, stormy conditions are common. So, a front is the boundary between two air masses where the weather change and stormy conditions are common. We have two types of front. Cold front and warmer front. First, let's talk about cold front. The cold front happens when cold air masses bump into a warm air masses. This causes that the cold air pushes the warm air up, and the water vapor in the air cools and large cloud forms. So, thunderstorms and heavy rain often take place. And then the cooler temperatures follow a cold front. So, what happened in a cold front? Where a cold air masses bump into a warmer air masses. They cause that the cold air pushes the warm air up, and the water vapor in the air cools and large clouds form, and then the thunderstorms and heavy rain take place. And cooler temperatures follow a cold front. So cold front follows by cooler temperatures. A warm front. A warm front forms when a warm air mass moves over a cold air mass. A warm front forms wider area of clouds and rain than a cold front. So rain or snow may fall. And warmer temperatures will follow a warm front. So the warm front when warm air masses moves over cold air masses, and they form wider area of clouds and rain than a cold front. So rain or snow may fall, and it follow by warmer temperature. Now let's talk about mapping the weather. A weather forecast is a prediction about the future weather conditions of a place. And a weather forecast beyond 7 days are not very accurate. So, meteorologists forecast the weather based on the local weather data and observe the weather patterns. How we can make weather maps? The weather data collected by the weather satellites and weather monitoring stations, weather buoys, are sent to computers, and these computers help to store and analyze the data and the weather pattern to make the weather map. So, the weather data collected by the weather systems that we talked about it before, weather satellites, weather monitoring stations, weather buoys, are sent all to computers, and these computers help to store and analyze the data and the weather pattern to make the weather maps. Meteorologists study these maps and use them to make the weather forecasts. Why weather forecasts is very important? Because it helps us plan each day. And when severe storms strike, weather forecasts can also help save life. So meteorologists work hard to predict and track the severe storms. By being able to monitor and predict the severe storms, such as hurricane, so they can warn people of a danger and save lives. And these pictures show the difference between the tropical depression, tropical storm, and hurricane.
The weather is one of the most powerful, important forces on Earth. But how do you know what the weather is going to be like so you can plan ahead? A lot can go wrong if you don't plan for the weather. While you're busy with your everyday life, a global network of gadgets scan and measure the atmosphere, collecting data from all over the world. Radar systems, weather balloons, ocean monitoring buoys, and lots of other cool instruments track changes to help predict the weather. Another vital ingredient is space. Way out in orbit, weather satellites are getting the big picture of atmospheric changes. These European weather satellites, METOP and Meteosat, give us the ability to see the weather before it reaches us. Orbiting the Earth 14 times a day, around 850 kilometers up, METOP keeps a close eye on temperature, humidity and winds. METOP's observations, along with all the other data, are fed into powerful supercomputers. These huge machines then crunch their way through millions of bits of data about current weather, oceans and atmosphere to forecast future weather. The process is called numerical weather prediction and is what scientists use to help us plan our lives. It's clever stuff. Individuals and entire countries can react when bad weather is on the way. Governments, pilots, farmers, fishermen and sailors, shop owners, tourists, building workers and even power stations all rely on accurate weather forecasts. Further out in space, at 36,000 kilometers, Meteosat stays over the same spot on Earth, keeping a 24-hour watch over Europe and Africa's weather. This type of satellite is essential for detecting the development of rapidly changing weather, such as storms or fog, helping meteorologists work out what is likely to happen in the next few hours. So many lives are affected in huge ways by the weather, and our ability to predict and plan for it. And everyone's life is affected in little ways every day. Weather forecasts enable us to plan to keep traffic moving, planes on schedule and on the safest path. And everyone's day, well, not always without a hitch. So remember that a whole host of satellites and other amazing weather technology are always at your fingertips whenever you have plans. So don't forget to check the weather.
Now we have finished our lesson. Don't forget your homework, check LMS and answer worksheet 3, then send it to me on our mail, الواحة American Science Homework @gmail.com. Bye bye.